My people wonder they say shall never end. According to the information reaching us right now, they said the elders are now celebrating as the king finally binds Ogunjaye. Hey, information have it that the rate of people that are buying as the king releases this Ogunjaye became so alarming that it was looking like everyone is involved in one thing or the other. Because according to what some diviners said, some of the people that died as the king releases that Ogunjaye did not die because they were involved in the missing royal staff, but because they have been involved in one thing or the other that is against the rules and regulation of the land. And you know that the reason they said most people run away at the mention of that Ogunjaye is because maybe the main reason why the Ogunjaye is being released at the moment might not be the only reason that Ogunjaye will start buying people. If you have committed something that is against the land and there was no form of cleansing ritual on you, and Ogunjaye is being released, it is going to affect you. And that is why you hear that during the time that the king released Ogunjaye, some elders ran away. Yes, they say some elders ran away and went to one land they believe that Ogunjaye cannot enter. And when they enter there, some people buy, while some people did not buy. Those people did not buy, maybe they did not commit anything, or maybe the ones they committed is not something that Ogunjaye can buy someone because of it. But because they are afraid of the name Ogunjaye alone, that is why some of them ran away. So now that they said the king released that Ogunjaye, they said people were buying. The first day self, more than 7 people buy, and they are elders, trusted elders indeed. And they said the king even said he wasn't going to bind the Ogunjaye until after the Ofarende ritual. That is how they said families started begging. Some of them will come into the palace with people, notable people that they believe that can speak to the king, and the king will listen. They will be begging the king to please bind Ogunjaye. Kabiyesi, please bind Ogunjaye and all of that. They said the kind of begging that people started begging the king, it started looking as if the king doesn't listen to his subjects and all of that. So for that reason, the king decided that, uh, he will do something. So right now they said the king have bind Ogunjaye. But in as much as they said the king bind Ogunjaye, they said the palace was as quiet as graveyard. And right now, they said the king no longer cares. If you do anyhow, you see anyhow. And the one thing that consoles him, that gives him joy, is that he know that Ogunjaye does not buy anyone who does not commit crime in one way or the other. So that is one reason he will always tell them that if you think you can do certain things and go scot-free, he's not going to fight you, but he will release Ogunjaye, and Ogunjaye will be the one that will fight you and expose you. And they say one of the elders have told the king that, look, a good king did not or does not threaten his subject with a deity, a deadly one at that. And they said the king also reminded that particular elder that a good subject, good people did not do something that will jeopardize the happiness of their king if they truly care. As a matter of fact, this is the same elder who advised the king that, look, don't allow the love that you have for the jewel and fighting for the jewel's return to cost you your throne. And that happened during that period that they said the particular royal staff got missing, you know, because there are certain decisions that the king cannot make as a king if he did not find that royal staff. And that was why the particular elder in question was telling him that don't allow your fight to bring back your jewel and your son into the palace, cost you your throne. And this elder in question is staying with his family, both his wife and his children, right there in his house. And the king that is fighting to enjoy the same privilege, he is advising him not to, so that the throne will remain and all of that. So they said there was serious over quietness in the palace when they got information. Okay, when the king finally accepted to bind Ogunjaye. But if you ask my own sincere opinion, I will say that I don't think the king should have, bind that Ogunjaye, because since it is the only thing that they fear, they don't fear their king. The only thing that they fear is that Ogunjaye. So, and you know that a lot of them will go extra mile to see that uh, the Ofarende ritual was jeopardized. They can do anything to stop it. And I believe if the Ogunjaye is still moving around, they will be afraid of doing anything, or because they know that if they do anything, they will collect from Ogunjaye immediately without wasting time. I just pray at the end of the day that they don't do anything to stop that Ofarende ritual. Yes, because they said all those minor rituals, that small rituals that they will have to do before the men of Farende ritual, that the last one they did was over successful. There was no interruption of any type. There was nothing. And remember that before that Ogunjaye was released, that there was a particular ritual that they did then. They said Ebony took some maidens that are supposed to participate in that ritual. Ebony took them to three rivers where she went to do her own rituals and everything, of which at the end of the day, information have it that her ritual was rejected by the river goddess because of the kind of heart that she carried to that place. You know that you can't do certain rituals without having pure heart, clean heart, and all of that. And that particular act of hers cost those maidens their job in the palace, because they said when the king asked of them and they told him that they went to the river with Ebony, they said the king ordered they should from there go back to their parents' house, that he no longer needs their services in the palace, since their loyalty lies with Ebony. And the reason is because before that time, they were told that a particular ritual will be carried out on behalf of the jewel in the palace, and their presence were needed, and yet they went ahead to follow Ebony. So that time, will I say there was a kind of obstruction and all of that, although they carried it out too. But this particular one, this last one, it was so successful due to the presence of Ogunjaye and everything. So, but now, Ogunjaye have been banned. Who knows the next thing that the elders will try to do to stop the Ofarende. Anyway, guys, that is what we're hearing if the information is true. I want to remind you that these are all alleged, unverified information making rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact unless you verify them. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Love you.